Thank you so much for joining us on the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Annette Montgomery. Well, it was a beautiful day across Connecticut, but we're in store for a big change tomorrow. That's why we have a weather impact alert for the chance for strong storms that could also bring heavy rains and winds with it. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank is here with a look at the timing for that weather and what you need to know tonight. Rachel.
Yeah, Annette, at the bare minimum, it just impacts all of our days because if you have any outdoor plans or activities, again, we will see a rising chance for showers and storms in the afternoon, and there will be a few rounds that continue right into tomorrow night. So this alert, I know it's kind of long duration, anywhere from noon to midnight. And also there is a chance that we could see some heavy rain that could contribute to some minor street flooding, especially in areas that already saw very heavy rain on Saturday. So make sure you stay weather aware. And there is a risk for an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm, especially as we head through the late afternoon and early evening. That's when we'll see rising levels of humidity and just enough instability. If we do get a severe thunderstorm or two, the primary threat would be for strong gusty winds or wind damage. The threat for a tornado or hail is low, but not completely zero. So it's pretty similar to what we had on Saturday. Temperatures right now are in the 60s to right around 70 degrees. It is a beautiful night ahead. Low levels of humidity. Open up the windows and let that fresh air in. And also we're looking at good air quality as well. But the humidity will start to rise as we head through the day tomorrow. And along with it, we'll see a rising chance for storms. We'll walk you through it, talk about another threat for thunderstorms Wednesday afternoon and evening, and the beautiful changes for later this week coming up. Annette.
Looking forward to it. Thank you, Rachel. Well, now to an update in a homicide investigation in Meriden. A man shot by a police officer during a Delhi domestic violence incident has died. Fox 61's Valerie Moravi is in Meriden with the latest on the investigation and how neighbors are now responding.
Yeah, neighbors we spoke with say this was a terrifying moment, especially, they say, after hearing shots being fired and seeing the body laying on the ground.
It's sad and, horrible when you really look at it, you know?
That was one of the reactions from neighbors Monday night after learning a man who police shot Sunday died one day later. Officers were called to Sagamore Road Sunday morning. They say they found the man hitting a person on the head with a baseball bat, who later died. That's when an officer shot the man with the bat. The violence surrounding the incident has left many neighbors in shock. Yuri Laura Murphy-Prue describes the moment when first responders arrived.
I heard something going on in the neighborhood, and it was B Street. I heard an ambulance going down. Going up to the Berlin Turnpike, I heard a fire truck, and I was like, what's going on here?
And at first I thought it was going to be this house right here, and then he went by there, so I realized at that point something's different. This is probably not just an ordinary somebody sick, that kind of thing.
Another neighbor, Keith Middlesworth, says it was shocking to see the body laying on the ground.
During the investigation part, we kind of stood right in this area, and we could see that there was somebody or a body on the grass that they had covered with a sheet. So we kind of figured there was at least one fatality.
Meriden Mayor Kevin Scarpati said in a statement Monday afternoon that he extends his deepest condolences to the victim's family and loved ones during this difficult time.
I'm hoping that they can pick up everything and try to work everything out the best that they can. I know it's going to be hard and tough, but keep strong and stay strong.
Now, the Office of Inspector General says they will release the preliminary status report regarding the use of force as the domestic violence incident remains under investigation. In Meriden, Valerie Moravi, Fox 61.
Two former employees of a Windsor Locks nursing home were arrested today in connection with the death of Margaret Healy, a 93-year-old resident who died earlier this year. Healy was found unresponsive in the snow outside Bickford Healthcare Center on February 8th. That was more than 3 hours after she left the building through a rear employee entrance. The medical examiner determined she died of hypothermia caused by environmental exposure. They also ruled her death an accident. The facility later closed permanently following a state investigation that resulted in 14 health and safety charges. Windsor Locks police will release more details about those arrests, including the identities of the accused, during a news conference tomorrow morning. West Haven police arrested a man after they say another man was stabbed to death at an apartment. It happened just before 5:30 p.m. yesterday on Meadowbrook Court. Police say a 911 caller told them the suspect stayed inside the apartment after the stabbing. At this time, officials haven't released any names yet, and they haven't said what charges the man is facing. But they did say this was a case of family violence. We'll take a look. A firefighter and another person are hurt following this house fire in Middletown. It happened last night around 8:20 at a home on East Street, which is in the Westfield section of the city. The Westfield Fire Department said 4 people in the home were able to make it out safely, but 1 person was taken to the hospital. At this time, officials did not mention the extent of their injuries. We are also told a firefighter was taken to the hospital for minor burns. Right now, the cause of the fire is still under investigation. Tonight, a Wallingford school treasurer is facing a larceny charge after thousands of dollars went missing from a parent-teacher organization. Police say 39-year-old Erica Vitale is accused of stealing $22,000 from Highland Elementary School's PTO. Investigators say Vitale had full access to the organization's account, but could not provide receipts or bank statements for the missing money. Parents were notified about the situation in a letter sent earlier last month. It's not clear whether Vitale had a child at the school, but the PTO has since changed its bylaws so that only parents or legal guardians of current students can become members. Now to a travel alert for those of you who use Metro North to get to work. Starting today, some trains were replaced by buses. And this comes as construction crews make major improvements at several stations on the Waterbury line. Fox 61's Joe Monty is in Waterbury with what you need to know tonight.
And it's not just buses replacing trains that we're talking about here, but also some major changes to the scheduling as well. And we can tell you more about that. It's all thanks to a massive project, nearly $200 million, upgrading the stations like this one here in Waterbury and several others along the line headed towards Bridgeport. And those include Ansonia, Beacon Falls, Derby, Shelton, Naugatuck, Seymour. And there will be some major changes coming here pretty soon. The upgrades will improve safety, comfort, and accessibility. Metro North is working to accommodate customers at all of these stations with full train boarding, covered canopies, and windscreens to keep people comfortable in all types of weather while waiting for the train. One man who uses the train here in Waterbury fairly often told us these upgrades were definitely needed.
It'd be nice to have a place like New Haven have where that you can actually go inside a building and purchase the tickets and, and buy little snacks or something like that, and watch TV or something like that, and wait for the train to arrive or the bus or whatever, whoever that comes first.
Scheduled buses are replacing the trains, but Metro North wants you to know that the buses to Bridgeport leave earlier than the scheduled train time. So you should keep that in mind and confirm your bus departure time on the train app, the MTA's website, or the special schedule, and get to the station early. And there will certainly be some major changes here coming shortly, but for now, buses are replacing trains at these stations, and we're expecting that to be the case until May of 2027. For now in Waterbury, Joe Monty, Fox 61.
Right now, people in Enfield called an old staple an empty shell of what it once was. Now they want to know what will happen to their beloved former Enfield Square Mall now that another new developer has stepped in. Fox 61's Alicia Hercules shares the latest from the mall.
A new developer has stepped in to negotiate for the property after the previous developer's purchase and sale agreement expired. Now people in Enfield are left to question what will become of the once thriving mall.
And now it's just an empty shell and very sad to see.
4 months after the Enfield Square Mall officially shut its doors, people like Mary Tetrault question what will go in the mall's place. Matthew Koppler, the Enfield town manager, says they are now working with an unnamed developer after the previous company that was in negotiations to buy the property, Woodsonia Real Estate's purchase and sale agreement expired.
Trying to figure out what it is they're thinking of doing with the property. and how that fits into what the future of the town of Enfield sees with that facility.
Before the company's $250 million purchase and sale agreement expired, the company was in talks of turning the defunct mall into a mixed-use property to include both residential and commercial buildings.
I think it was a favorable redevelopment plan that kind of made it through the council process as well as the land use process.
Koppler still hopes to see that come to fruition.
I would say that is the preferred redevelopment plan to include that, but I would also say that the town is open to different ideas and will weigh those as it relates to what we see the future of the town is going to be.
Tetrault says she isn't necessarily looking forward to housing being built on the property due to the location.
Just put in stores people want to go to.
She thinks more restaurants should be built in place of the former mall.
It's all fast food. You want somewhere to go to eat and have, a nice meal, and there's just only like a handful in the town.
Jamie O'Quinn of Springfield, Massachusetts shops in the area often.
I always notice this mall is empty. It's such a waste of space.
She hopes to see a farmer's market be put in place of the mall.
I would just love to see a farmer's market in here with a big open space and some kind of fresh fruits and vegetables, because I know there's so many farms around here.
Despite minor setbacks, Tetrault says she's hopeful for the future of the property.
You can bring in the people, you just need the place for them to go to. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing something good come into here.
Koppler says they expect the new unnamed developer to give the town more information on what their plans are in the coming months. We'll keep you posted. In Enfield, Alicia Hercules, Fox 61.